brief demo about Python programming. Hope many of you have heard about Python programming, and what actually the prerequisite is. In fact, I would like to say that I specifically don't require you to have any sound knowledge. Only I expect is zeal to learn. That's it. If you had any sort of previous programming experience, like at least the basic C programming, it would be an added advantage. So I say that even if you don't know any programming language, so I can make sure that you will learn the Python programming. So this is the oath that I can give you. And coming to the training part, the training was divided into 3 levels actually. So the basic thing is the basic level training, which will go through for 12 hours. So with this basic programming basic level, you will be understanding what exactly is Python, and you can start working on Python programming. And followed by that, there will be another thing called as intermediate level programming. So where it would be dedicated for some 8 hours. With this, you will learn some skills which would be useful for you to start working on some real-time project. And coming to the advanced level, which is 12 hours back, after this advanced level, you can start completing the project. So by intermediate level, you can start peeking your nose into the real-time projects, and you can complete them only with the advanced levels. So this is what I think I would like to say. Then coming to the material side and other part, yes, of course, the material will be provided. Followed with that, there will be exercise also. So I can ensure that I will provide you the exercise material. But one thing is that I will not give any solution manual. So that was clear, right? Because I want my students to ask me questions. So that would be the best way to see. So hope many of my students have experienced this thing. So it may be difficult for you for the first 2 days without a solution. But if you are, there is no solution, you will think of solution, and probably your thinking, analysis, and programming skill set will be increased. That's sure. And coming to the topics to be covered. So if you see the topics to be covered, so we can have. So there is a basic and generic level. So coming to exactly we will teach is the first thing is introduction. Introduction means so how different is Python, so how basic is Python, and how easy is Python. Yes, of course. And following that, there will be a typical installation procedure. If you are working on Unix or OS X or Linux, any other flavors, Python installation is not essential. If you are working on Windows, it's a bit one-time pain that we need to go through, and I will make it very easy for you. So that would be about installing Python, and then followed by that, I will introduce you to the basic things like idle and other IDEs and any sort of editors. So the most popular things like Sublime Text, and I will introduce you to the Notepad++, which are the basic editors, and Vim if you want. And in the same fashion, coming to the IDEs, I will introduce you to the PyCharm, which is the most used Python IDE, and also the idle. Idle is a thing which comes in bundle with the basic Python installation. And whenever we are starting any programming language, we desperately deserve this help. How to get the help? I will show you that. And followed by that, the basic reserved keywords, and followed by that, how to get the packages. People will be dealing with that. And followed by that, so we'll be dealing with the basic operations for the next 2 hours. So which would be like what is the basic syntax of Python, how it is different from other programming languages, and importance of intending here. Followed by the basic things like arithmetic operations, string operations, IO operations, relational operations, so logical operations and Boolean operations, so bitwise operations, and then we will go through the control flows. So if, else, and else. So, and then we will go through something called as range and x-range. Yes, this is the typical thing where you could see that range and x-range are the different functions which will result in something different. And then we will go for the loops, for and while loops. There is nothing like a do while loop. And then you can go through break, continue, pass, and the system not exist. See what this difference you could see when you are going to that. And followed by that, you could see something called as collections. So collections is these are the basic predefined data structures which are available with Python. So lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries, and comprehensions. So, and then followed by the functions. So the various ways of functions, doing functions. And then we will be discussing about the exceptions. So though I am giving you the very basic reviews, so we can go into the beef insights afterwards. So then after completing the complete exceptions, handling exceptions will be dealing with error handlings, and then we'll be going with working with files, how to work with files, how to work with CSV files in specific, so comma separated values files, how to deal with the XML files, how to deal with the text files. So these are the major things we will be dealing. So then followed with the serialization. So hope you have heard about JSON if you are familiar with Java or any other environment. So typically we will be dealing with JSON also. Then we had added advantage of pickle, cpickle, shell, all these things we will discuss. Then followed by that we will be seeing about debugging. So anyone will be writing program, but the better programmer should think about debugging, because we need to find the exact place where the things happens, problem occurs. So it would be very painful to place a print instrument in all the lines and check where exactly the problem is. So instead of that, we will be having a predefined module called as PDB. With that, we will be doing all the things. Followed by that, we will be learning about the socket programming and logging, and you could see the importance there. And then coming to the advanced level, you could see OOP, object-oriented programming in Python. So how different is it? So if you are afraid of any of the object-oriented programming in typical C++ or Java or something else, I can swear you that so that OOP is slightly different from this OOP. Yes, of course. So the way it was nurtured is very easy, and hope everyone will not take much time till. So a bit patience is essential. So when I am teaching, if that is there, so everything can be done. So followed by that, regular expressions will be taught. If you are a programmer already, you will be learning the importance of regular expressions to get the data. So what exactly we want from a large bundle of data, and to get the data and pour into another file. See, a regular expression is a completely new, like a separate set of language, or we will be writing a pattern to extract a particular we will be seeing in due course. Then we will be doing about advanced Python programming tips like decorators, so static and the class methods. So if you had the familiarity with the Python syllabus anywhere, if you see the static and class methods will be placed in the OOP, but I placed it here why? Because so there is a little bit importance to place there. And then followed by that, I will be letting you know about the memory management things and pip8 coding style recommendations and how to follow them, and if you not following, what is the shortcut to make them make your code compliant to the pip8 standard. So then followed by that, I'll be giving a beneficiary module like NumPy. So this is one important module for generally for numerical analysis. And many of my students also told the same thing, that it would be essential for everyone. Why? Because it gives an edge over the ordinary lists and other things. So you could see something called as an array here and a list here. So what is the advantage of array and the list that you could see in due course? So that's why and then coming to the packaging. So once you have done a project, so we need to deliver the project. So if you want to deliver a project, there should be a particular methodology to be applied in packaging the things. So how packaging is in Python? So it would be very painful if you go through the Java to make a package. So whereas here everything will be done on its own. Even the best advantage is auto documentation. So typically whenever you are doing some sort of documentation, you'll be missing something or placing something else. So many of the times your process cycle will be delaying due to this documentation thing. But here the advantage is documentation will be automatically generated. So how it would be generated, how we can make the things and all the things we could see. So typically if you go for your uh, so let me say that I was going for some python.org site. So you could see that this python.org site was made using this Spinix itself. So that's the way the things are laid and all the things. So this is the basic home site for Python, and all the material that you want you can find here. Of course, Python is open source, so many of the people are providing the things in their own way. So there are a lot of documentation, a large amount of community we are having. So you could see all the things here. And coming to your core programming as of now, then uh, so you have seen the basic code structure without having any knowledge of Python, probably I'm assuming. So now I will say, let you know what is what is Python actually. So it is a general purpose programming language which is same as your, so means it will do the same old job which is being done by your traditional C, C++, Java, and many of such general purpose languages. There is a popular notion that Python is called a scripting language. See, Python can be used as a scripting language also, but it is a general purpose programming language. Scripting language means if you see compare the shell or other things, so they can't be executed on its own. They should be invoked within a particular interpreter or something else. Whereas a general purpose language, they can serve a large set of applications. So that's what the thing being done by Python. And the very advantage, as I told already, is that Python is free and open source. And with large community support, so that is the best asset for any programmer to enter into Python. So as I told already, it is free, object oriented. So whatever the things that you want, we can do. And one more point, if you want to continue your programming without object oriented, means if you want to go with a function oriented approach, so that is also possible. So we can do that. So it's all up to us, and it's portable and runs on virtual machine. So you could see what's actually there. Some people call it as a virtual machine, some people call it as an interpreter, and so we will discuss in due course when we are going to the class what is the difference between a virtual machine and an interpreter, and how exactly Python is coming between these two. So it is an interpreter language. That's what I can share. So a step-by-step evaluation will be, so you know the pain that you are facing when you're going for a particular C or C++ program. So even if you want to test a particular set of lines within your code lines within your C or C++ program or Java program, you need to compile the complete program and you need to see the complete result. So so that sort of thing can't be done in that's not the thing which is when you go for an interpreting based language. We can individually take the particular lines and stated that there's an associativity and we can execute them. And coming to the things, what you could see is that it's very powerful. You could see the basic things like it is having built-in third-party libraries, and there are a lot of modules available. So what are the fields being used in Python actually means? So you could see. So what actually? This was the person who had made all the things like here you could see world made in Python. So if you see the world made with Python, so you'd see that people will be saying that there are various applications. So most popular things, if you are aware of these torrents, so Dropbox. So all these things are applications, various applications. which had the also Open ERP, so which is one of the booming things, and ERP5, which is booming. So Instagram, Pinterest, Quora, Mozilla will be using to some extent things, and video gaming industry, web frameworks, so graphic frameworks, UI frameworks, scientific packages, mathematical packages. In fact, if you want to see the things that were done by Python, so you could see the various fields of work in Python.org. If you open the python.org site, you could see. So if you see the success stories, so they have divided the success stories in terms of the fields. Means starting from the art field to the business field to the execution, to engineering, government, scientific, software development, and even so NASA and other people are also using the same thing. So this is what about the various fields being used in which it is used. So next coming things. So coming to the advantage means so no compilation, as I told already. So all the pain that you are facing when you're going to a typical compilation based language will be eliminated. We will be having dynamic typing. So dynamic typing means we need not initialize. So we'll be initializing typically when you go for C++, C++, or Java, like int a equal to some 12. So that sort of thing need not be done here. So here we can directly say a equal to 12 means if it is an integer, it will take it as an integer object. If it is a equal to some string, if you as a, the variable a is a string, that's the point. So easy syntax, so no curly braces, no semicolons, no extra stuff, and the best point is it is embeddable. So scripting support means embedded means let us say you have already written such an amount of C code or C++ code, and the remaining part of the project you want to continue with Python. Yes, that is possible. And some in another way means that a certain amount of time. And I say one point here that as we are having either Python is an interpreter-based language. The Python code will be converted basically from the Python language that we are writing to some bytecode, which is Python understood bytecode, and followed by that it would be converted into the C code, and then executed exe will be created, and all the process will be taking place. So we can say in one point that Python is slower compared to C. Yes, this is agreed. But we are having something called as interpreters like PyPy and Zit, so which interpreters, so which will be making the things faster. So, and I can say that we can make Python even faster than Java, but not faster than C, as we everyone know. It is a system level language, right? So if certain amount of code must be, if there is a requirement that if the certain amount of module of our project must work very fastly, so that, and the remaining part will write in Python. The advantage in Python is that, so for the typical thing which is done by C, C++, and Python, so in the Java, in 20 or 30 lines, we can do the same job in 3 to 5 lines. So it is 1/10 of the thing. And lastly, it is interactive. So view, change objects at runtime. At runtime, we can do all the things. So as I told already, the 50% less code. It is the average done. So if I say, so at times we can even reduce it to some further less amount. And as you know, a less amount of code means less amount of errors. So less amount of debugging. So faster cycle time. Cycle time means software development cycle time, testing life. So the so 300% or something more productive it would be. So if you see a typical Google Trends report about Python, so all the references were stated in the end. You could see the differences, and you can Google the same thing. So you could see the Google Trends. So see, starting from 2005. So Python was actually invented into 1991 actually by Gudo von Rossum. So from then it had little amount of essence. So what I say is that people didn't realize the importance of Python. So that may be the reason the people think one. Especially the Python 2 version was started around 2002. From then on, you could see the actual growth here. So slowly it was lessened, and nowadays it is having a lot of importance. So coming to the countries which are more using things, you could see, and most popular coding language. This was a survey done by so one of the popular website web resources. So you could see that continuously Python is retaining the first position for the large amount of time. Most popular in terms of engagement, most popular in terms of work being done, and most popular in terms of open support is done. And as I am saying about community support. So this was a Stack Overflow survey 2015. You could see that Python was rated in the top 3 position in terms of community support. So I assure you that you will be getting your answer within a fraction of, I should not say, it would be a joke if I say fraction of minutes, but at least it will not take more than 2-3 hours. Between that, it depends upon the time and all the things. But you could see the response. 14.8% of the total Stack Overflow people are engaged in Python, means you can get a large amount of support. And not only in Stack Overflow, there are even Facebook communities and other communities. In all the way, you could see the open support is there. And coming to the Python developer salary. Yes, of course, this is the most typical thing which is essential for everyone, right? So coming to the salary part, you could see that the average salary for the Python developer would be 1 or 2,000 US dollars. So you could see the job vector, which is growing very fastly. Means you could expect something more. So all your efforts will not go in vain, and definitely it will be productive, and it would be productive in very much high. So that's what I could say. So coming to the last thing, so 2015 programming salary range, if you see, Python is also stating in the top 5. See, if you go for any aspect, Python is now booming. So I can assure you that it would be down the line for another 20 years. So if everything goes right. So there are a lot amount of surveys and all the things I have shown. So let us start actually programming. So and we can see things. So coming to the Python. So there are 2 versions of Python. So wherever you could see that 2.7.10 and 3.5.0 are the latest versions that you could see. So the general version is that everyone will be going with the latest version, but this is not the scenario here. See, 3.5 was introduced around in 2008, but it didn't gain that much importance as of now. So why? Because though it is having a lot of advantages, so the advantage of Python is that there will be a lot of support modules. Means for every task, let us say if you want to do some sort of numerical analysis, we will go for NumPy. If you want to get some scientific analysis, SciPy. So if you want to do data analysis, Pandas, PyDoop for like Hadoop. So all these things are modules actually. So all those modules also must be migrated to 3.x standard. Why? Because there was a code incompatibility between 2.7x and 3.x. There are certain changes which can be known to human being by itself, and of course Python 3.x is supporting some small script called as 2 to 3 converter, which will be converting the Python 2 script to 3 script with small but majority of people are still not migrating. Slowly the migration is taking place. So in terms of developer thing, we can say that 3.x would be better for us to learn in the initial instant. But as I say that, everyone want to go for a job, and the job means there will be doing work in the real time with modules which are, majority of the modules are in 2.x. So it would be good sense to learn 2.x and learn the differences between 2.x and 3.x. So I think that would be the best way you can learn both 2.x peer and 3.x peer. So this was a general thing being done by everyone. So I think you will also follow the same. This course will be taught in 2.x, as I told you. And coming to Python, Python will is more of this way and say interactive and script way. Let's start programming. Okay, let us go with. So don't think about partial. It is also some window itself. Think like window. If I say Python, why? Because there will be some sort of environment variable setup that I have done. So which we could discuss in the initial class. So how the things will be happen and so and so. Python can be used as a simple calculator. If I say a equal to sum, a is equal to 12. So I can say print a 12. So I can say another way print. So a equal to a. So 12 will come. So like that I can do any operations. Like let us say I want to make some a is equal to, so 12 into 34 divided by 4.0, let us say I want to make. Yeah, that's also done. So if I say print a, I will get, or else a, it will get. This is an interactive mode where you can see individual operations individually. You can do some all the it's like a simple calculator. You can do calculation operations. That would be the very basic things. Then I told you about the something called as range, right? So range is a typical thing where you could see the actual essence of Python from these sort of functions. There are many such sort of functions you will go through in due course of time. If I say some 12 means, so it would be like some 12 means, but the first value will be taken as 0 by default. So if I say 0 to 12 or just 12 means it would be, so default is 0 means from you could see that from 0 to 10 you are getting. So that is the point you could see here with an interval of 1. So 1 increment. So I can also place some increment of some 2 and you could see the difference. So these are all the things, and there will be something else called as X range. So hope you will not understand X range at this instant, but X range also does the same job as range. There is an added advantage of memory management that you would see in due course of time. In the same fashion, so we can go within in Python IDE. So IDE, if you type IDE, so you get graphical thing. So I am not at all working in this basic tutorial any of the IDEs or the things. So I want to make it everything familiar. See what are the things that you have and more. The same things you can do here also. The same Python a 12 means some print some a is, so followed by a whatever you want to see. So let's say you want to make print hello world. If this would be the basic thing being done by every programmer in the very first point of introduction to any of the program, but we have done in due course of time. Yes, so this is our thing. And let us say if you want to write a new program, yes, you can write in a new program here. So what we call it as shebang line. Shebang line, hope you are aware of shebang line. If you are not aware, so I will let you know. So the thing is that this line is optional in Linux and Windows and OS X also, but it is essential. No, sorry, OS X is one of the Unix, right? So in all the Unix flavors, this line is essential. It is to tell to the interpreter that execute this file with Python, so that you will discuss. We can discuss about it afterwards. The same old thing I have written there. I am writing here also, like print a, just type a. Or after that, let me give a small print. I can also give a empty lines, as you already know. So this coding styles and all the things you can see in terms of in Pip8. When you're going for Pip8, we can see that. Let us say I want to write hello world. A is a. So this is what the thing that I want to say. So I can save the file. So I can save somewhere, some desktop or something else, like a test file. So with this test file I can do, so after that I can execute, I can run and execute the file. So see the output, the same thing, right? So see, in this way we can go through. So there are other things like we can go for the advanced concepts like classes and functions also. So but I will limit myself to be more basic and specific. So let us say simple function. So I want to write some hello function. Hello. So here I want to say that print hello. So that's it. I want to write, and now I can make set. So hello. I'm calling here. So if I say here, one will see that. So hello was there in the end compared to the previous thing, and now we can see that hello was there. So hello means we are making a call actually, and there will be something else called as docstrings. Docstrings means before docstrings I would say something that, so comment hash is a comment symbol here. So comments comments. So whatever I want to write, I can write, and there will be something like docstrings. So 3 quotes followed by that. So I can write whatever. See hello function means writing something about the function, what that function actually does. So many of the people will think that docstrings also like comments. No, why? Because these docstrings will be, these are called as docstrings. Means anything between 3 triple quotes and within 3 triple quotes will be treated as docstrings. These will be read by the interpreter, and as I told you, documentation and other things, those will be generated using this. In a similar way, we can go for the classes also. But hope if I say classes, many of the people will be afraid as of now. But so I think for the basic demo, it would be fine for us to go through it. So where we are somewhere, so we have started something here, right? So we can continue the presentation. So here you can see that. So coming to the where is Python used? Many of the people will be asking this question. Why? Because they want to do the work. So there are various fields in which we can work, starting from web programming, data analytics, and visualization, which is one of the booming things as of now, and GUI development. So if you're developing any of the background application and you want to give a GUI for the people, you can go with that. And the best part is that you will be having associated with the .py file extension for the particular file, and you can make the binaries for the particular platform. Let us say you want to make a exe file, .exe file. That is also possible. So if you want to make something corresponding to the app, an app you want to make into Android app, you want to make .apk file. So that's also possible. There is a specific set of modules which are there for a particular task. So like this, you could see this for web programming. You are having these things like Django, Flask, Bottle, Tornado, Web2Py, and all these things. In the same fashion, for data analytics and visualization, you are having Pandas, PyDo, Matplotlib, and all these things. And coming to the GUI development, you are having WX Python, Tkinter, PyGTX, and so PyQt. PyQt is my favorite, of course. And scientific and numeric, if you see, so SciPy, NumPy, IPython, and many things are there to count on. So these are the basic things. And coming to the software development, build dot, so track, roundup. And coming to the cloud computing, OpenStack, Salt, Boto, so Boto 2. So we can integrate with Amazon Web Services also. So Amazon also is providing an API for programming with Python interface. So next thing is system utilities, system admin tools. If you want to make some portable shell scripts, you can do with this thing. You can basically, Python is used there for automation of the things. So you can go for the individual computer and do all the stuff that you want to configure, or else you can write a script for the, at the server to automatically do the job, so which can be done. So next, database programming, PostgreSQL, and all the many of the XQLs are there. So we are doing the same thing. So coming to the internet programming, so scripting like the CJS scripting, which is very old, all the things. So next, coming to this, who uses Python means. So many of the people, see, if you go for the Linux, why I'm saying that Linux don't deserve Python installation, because so by default when your your Linux is installing, so that installing package will be Python was used to write that sort of thing. So as you know, NASA is using Python for the particular modules. Red Hat is using. So Google is using. Google is so the hirer of the Guido van Rossum is a scientist who have developed this Python. He was an ex-employee of Google, and now he's associated with Dropbox. And you could see Dropbox. Dropbox is very simple application which is being developed. So in due course of time, we could see we can discuss about these things, how they have developed. It would be an insight. I will give an insight to how the programming was done. So what are the tidbits that you can find. And coming to YouTube, it is also one famous, and all these things we could see. So I will not emphasize more on this. And if you say Quora is also another, all these major websites are using them. So Python can be downloaded freely from python.org and downloads, you could see. And it would be available in 2 versions, as I told already. So if you see the Python, exactly, you could see that if you see download, it would be available in Python 3.5.0 and Python 2.7.0 or 10. Yes, I recommend you to download this. And installation procedure, I will let you know all the things in due course of time. So that's what I think. It would be a one-time pain that we need to go for environment variable settings. So, and lastly, before leaving, so I would like to say that there are around 67,489 packages available as of now. So you could see that list actually. So means if you know the basic programming, followed by that, you should know a particular set of modules which are used for the particular task, as I told already. So with using that, you can do the things. So and yesterday I has updated, and today you could see the difference. 67,151 packages are already there. Means whatever the job that you want to do, you can do that job. So whether you go for any field, so majority of the fields it is supporting. So no need to worry about that. So for everything, it's like omnipresent and almighty. For everything there is a program for that. So these were all the references that I placed. So this is what about Python programming. So once we have started, we can further go into the things and we can see the things. But surely I can assure you that so you will be in the top within this stated duration. Totally, I deserve 32 hours of your qualitative time and little interest in learning the things. If that's the things, if you give me these two, I will give you the Python, and I will make you excel at the things. This is it, friends. Thank you.